Welcome to Emilek Online Tutorial. Now looking at this exponential equation, we're still under algebra, and it says here that 0.25 raised to the power of 2x plus 1 then equals 64. Now find x. Now looking at the left hand side and the right hand side, you get to see that the left hand side has a decimal base, now raised to the power of an expression in algebra, 2x plus 1. Then at the right hand side is just a constant, 24. Okay, now the first thing first is there a way we can simplify or change this decimal into fraction? Okay, yeah. Now first of all, let's come, how do we change a decimal to fraction? Now if you have 0.25, okay, now for the fact that we have a decimal here, the first thing first is put this. Now wherever the decimal is, then put your 1. Now how many digits that precede the decimal represented as what? 0, 0. Okay, so at this point now we have 25 all over what? 100. Okay, now we have to simplify this. 25 here 1, 25 here 4. Okay, so at this point now 0.25 can be reduced to what? 1 all over 4. So here you have 1 all over 4 all raised to the power of 2x plus 1 then equals what? 64. Okay, now here we have 1 over 4. Now is there a way we can actually change this to an index? Yes. Now if you have 1 over x, changing this to index could be x raised to the power of what? Negative, raised to the power of negative 1. Now if this is 4, so you can say this is what? 4 raised to the power of minus 1 all raised to the power of what? 2x plus what? 1 equals what? 64. Now looking at this, now you get to see that here is a base of 4 and here is a base of 64. Now but considering 64 here, is there a way we can reduce it to a base of 4? Yes, and that's because 4 times 4, 16 times 4, 4 times 4 is 16 times 4, that will give us 64, which means 4 raised to the power of 3 will give us 64. So let us replace 64 by 4 raised to the power of 3. So this will give us, and if you are to open this bracket here, let us record that if you have a raised to the power of m or raised to the power of m, the same thing as saying a raised to the power of what? M n, which means that the two exponents here will multiply itself. We multiply each other. So we can actually multiply negative 1 through this expression here. So you have 4. Take note, this is, let me just change it here. This is 4 raised to the power of 3. Okay, so here, negative 1 times 2x will give us what? Negative 2x. Negative 1 times negative 1, plus 1 will give us what? Negative 1. Then equals what? 4 raised to the power of what? 3. Now in this case, now since we have the same base both on the left hand side and on the right hand side, it implies that we can actually equate the exponents. Okay, so we can now say negative 2x minus 1 will equals what? 3. Okay, so at this point now let us add, since negative 1 is 1 is having a negative sign, let us add 1 to both sides, and when we add to both sides we have negative 2x then equals what? 4. Okay, so at this point now just let's divide both sides by negative 2. So here you have negative 2x then equals 4, dividing it by negative 2 because negative 2 is the coefficient of x. So yeah, at this point we have what? X. Now 2 here 1, 2 here 2, so we are left with what? X equals what? Negative 2. Alright, the value of x that satisfies this equation is negative 2. Thank you and God bless you.